What if I told you the most powerful explosion of the 20th century left not a single hole in the ground? At dawn over Siberia, a fireball roared, the forest bowed, and silence crashed in its wake. 80 million trees fell like matchsticks. The culprit? It never touched the soil. 7 a.m. near Vanavara, a hunter reached for his door latch. Heat seared his skin. Air turned white. Then the sky ripped open. The shockwave hurled him across the yard. Herds scattered. Tiger birds vanished. Where clouds had been, a burning column rose like the spine of a new sun. That night, half a world away, Londoners read midnight newspapers without lamps. The sky glowed electric blue. Barographs at weather stations spiked and rang as pressure waves circled the globe. Something had struck the air so hard that the atmosphere sang for hours. North of the Trans-Siberian line stretched a wilderness of bog and larch. Few roads, fewer witnesses. The Evenki moved with reindeer across muskeg. Tsarist officials stayed far south. Whatever happened landed beyond any easy rescue. An event so huge, it vanished into remoteness. In campfire whispers, the Evenki called it the Fire of Ogdi, a punishment that felled the sacred forest. Men refused to approach the blast zone. Charred trunks stood like spears. If the spirits were anchored here, who would risk their arrows unstrung, their sleds shattered?
Scientists argued from cities they'd never leave. Comet? Meteor? Volcanic gas? 1908, Russia stumbled toward upheaval. Funds bled away. Years passed. World War, revolution, famine. The forest healed and hid its wound. Only one man made it his life's obsession, a stubborn mineralogist named Leonid Kulik. Clues survived in machines. Across Europe, delicate barographs inked jagged loops as the pressure pulse arrived, circled Earth, returned, and faded. In Irkutsk, seismometers trembled. The planet itself had been struck, not by rock, it seemed, but by the air turned into hammer. Leonid Kulik spread tattered reports across a Petersburg desk, tracing rumors upriver into blank spaces on the map. He demanded an expedition, then another. Give me sledges, rifles, guides. I will find the crater that must exist, he vowed, and the stones history dropped here. Winter yielded a road of ice. Kulik's party pushed north on skis, then by reindeer through waist-deep drifts. Frost welded breath to beards. Compasses sulked under gray skies. Days blurred into white. Somewhere beyond the larch line waited the truth, frozen, stubborn, silent. They crested a ridge, and the world ended. Trees lay combed outward in a radial sea, all trunks pointing away from a vanished center. Bark was peeled, branches gone, an ocean of pale stumps. In the middle, a patch of forest still standing, stripped clean like a grove of poles. Kulik stared across bogs that should have held a hole big enough to swallow villages. None. No rim of thrown earth, no scatter of boulders. Just permafrost hummocks and shallow ponds glinting with ice. If a mountain had fallen, it had chosen to erase its own footprint. Evenki elders spoke in careful phrases. A light, brighter than the sun, flared from the north. The ground shook twice. A wind tore the clothes from men, flung reindeer, smashed huts. Then came stillness so complete they heard snow ticking on needles. The land felt bewitched. Through 1928 and 1930, teams paced the blast like surveyors of a vanished city. They mapped a butterfly pattern of devastation, two lobes, suggesting a shallow flight path and a turning burst. Cameras clicked, notes filled with angles and azimuths. Mathematics began to draw the fire. In laboratories, slivers of resin from old larch bled secrets. Under microscopes, tiny spherules glinted, silicate and nickel, the breath of something melted at furious heat. peat cores revealed a thin charcoal horizon for 1908. Chemistry whispered yes, though the ground refused trophies. Two grand ideas wrestled. A comet, icy, fragile, explodes aloft, could light European nights with strange clouds. Or a stony asteroid, tougher, detonates lower, shattering trees with a brutal slap. The sky's neon afterglow favored the first. The geometry of damage argued the second.
Theories went feral at the edges. A speck of antimatter, a stray black hole, an alien craft, even Nikola Tesla hurling lightning from across the sea. Each answered a riddle and spawned three more. Without a crater or big fragments, imagination outran evidence at a gallop. Energy, though, does not lie. From pressure curves and treefall area, estimates rose. 3 to 15 megatons, hundreds of Hiroshimas, released in seconds. The shock topples giants, the heat flash ignites bark, then the updraft yanks flames skyward, snuffing fire by stealing its air. Altitude was the missing key. If the invader shattered between 5 and 10 kilometers high, a superheated plume would blossom, pressure waves radiate, and the ground would feel the blow without a buried scar. The central standing trunks, the telegraph poles, fit that logic perfectly. One leak tempted the hopeful. Checo, a small oval pool near the axis, looked freshly punched, but cores pulled from its mud held centuries of pollen. Its bed predated the blast, many said. Others argued a glacial hollow reshaped by 1908. On the water, debate rippled world. The forest itself became witness. Growth rings widened after 1909, as if surviving trees drank sudden fertilizer from ash and nitrate dust. Some showed subtle genetic stress. Life healed quickly in the north, but carried a fingerprint, the memory of heat and shock in wood and cell. For weeks, Europe and Asia reported pearl blue night clouds and pale midnight twilight. Fine dust and water ice glittered in the mesosphere. The sky had swallowed 1 billion shards and learned to glow. Newspapers marveled. Farmers worried their sleep had been stolen by sorcery. Then Chelyabinsk roared across the Urals in 2013. Dashcams captured daylight at dawn, windows bursting in waves, a sonic slap delayed by minutes. A mere 500 kilotons, small beside Siberia, still injured thousands. At last, science watched an airburst with 1,000 eyes. With new equations and code, researchers replayed Tunguska. Feed in a stony asteroid, 50 to 80 meters wide, traveling at tens of kilometers per second, skimming at a shallow angle. Let it crush the air, then fail. The model unfolds. Flare, plume, shock, radial fall. No crater required. Drones and LiDAR traced the scars beneath regrown canopy. The symmetry sharpened. The inferred flight path tilted from the northwest. Buried charcoal lined swales. Still no sizable fragments, only whispers of vaporized stone, flecks in peat and resin, ash letter green page. We turned from mystery to prevention. Pan-STARRS sweeps Hawaiian skies. Atlas hunts dusk and dawn. NASA readies Neo-Surveyor to search in infrared where dark rocks hide. DART proved a spacecraft can nudge a small world. For the first time, AIM meets agency above our heads. Imagine the same blast over Manhattan, Mumbai, Lagos. Glass becomes shrapnel, facades shear, transit halts, hospitals reel. No crater, yet a city lies concussed. Air itself is the hammer. Cosmic roulette spared us in 1908 by choosing forest. Next time, it may choose people. Kulik never found the meteorite he wanted. War took him. He died in 1942, a prisoner far from the river he loved to haunt. But his maps, his photographs, his stubborn faith in the evidence, these built a bridge from myth to mechanism, from campfire dread to measured truth. And the mechanism is elegant. A cosmic boulder meets thicker air, fractures from within, blossoms into fire. The blast front scythes the taiga,
The plume claws skyward, painting noctilucent veils. The intruder leaves nothing large to find, only patterns, chemistry, and a question. When next? On the central Siberian plateau, larch and pine have reclaimed the wound. Moose browse where trunks once lay like compass needles. Beneath moss, charcoal still smudges fingers. The land forgives. Almost. It waits, as all wild places do, under a sky full of unannounced itinerants. Look up. Between stars flow stones, with no malice and no mercy. Our century has telescopes, algorithms, rockets, and choices. Do we meet the next Tunguska as witnesses or as guardians? The forest remembers the day air became iron. The rest of us have been warned.